Hey you guys, today I'm going to be talking about Ludwig van Beethoven and more specifically the first period of the three periods of his compositional life. And this one goes from his birth in 1770 to about 1802. And in this time he mastered musical language and genres of his time, and he began to develop his own style. It's really two periods, or it takes place in two different cities. First, his youth in a place called Bonn, and then his first decade in Vienna, Austria. He was trained by his father and other local musicians, and at a young age he entered the service of Maximilian Franz, who was kind of the noble in his area, and he was noticed as a piano virtuoso and an improviser. Late in his teens, he began to gain notoriety and patrons in the nobility as a composer. So people were paying him to compose pieces and different things like that. Haydn had actually visited and urged Franz to send him to Vienna for further study, which he did in 1792, when Beethoven was 22 years old. And he went 500 miles away from Bonn to Vienna, through land that was where war was being waged. France was waging war against Austria and Prussia, and there were troops right through the area that they were traveling. And he was taught there by Haydn, but then Haydn went to London in 1794. So then he stayed and he studied with other greats that were in Vienna at the time. And he studied counterpoint and setting Italian poetry to music for writing operas and things like that. He quickly established himself as a pianist and composer, and he had many generous patrons. People really went crazy for his improvisational skills too. He played a lot of public concerts there, and he taught the more advanced pianists. And his first cataloged opus was in this time in 1795. It was 3 piano trios. And then the next year, his opus 2, which was 3 piano sonatas dedicated to Haydn. An important thing, he remained a freelancer during this whole time. He never really stayed employed by one noble or one person for any long period of time. And it was mostly piano music that he was composing, sticking to what he knew best. Like Mozart, he's known for using a lot of contrasting styles, and he adopted a lot of new approaches to the piano, use of frequent octaves, thick textures, and sudden changes in dynamics. He waited a while till he was more established and a master of his craft before trying his hand at a string quartet or a symphony. But he did in 1800, his symphony number 1 in C major. It shows loyalty to Haydn and Mozart with their styles, but still sets himself apart in many distinctive ways. And we'll talk more about his compositions in class. Thanks, you guys. Have a good one.